Hi there, my name is Paul Gruber, resident here in Durbin Crossing. In fact, my family and I have been here for a little over 11 years now. And I'm also a realtor with Florida Welcome Home Real Estate, which is located right here in Durbin Crossing as well. So today what I thought I would do is a deep dive into the Durbin Crossing real estate market for you. Just kind of look at some trends. I take snapshots every 6 months, dated back to 2017. I like this more than kind of the postcards that you probably get in the mail where it's a snapshot in time, typically the activity in the last month, for a variety of reasons. A, it doesn't really show trends. And then the other thing is those postcards are usually for all of the activity in all of Durbin Crossing, or sometimes it's all of St. Johns County. Regardless, Durbin Crossing is a really large development. It's almost a community within a community. We have homes that range in price from the upper twos to over $1 million. We have townhomes, we have single family homes. Those homes are sitting on lots from 43 feet up to the estate lots at 83 feet. We have students in this development that go to different schools. So it really is kind of a diverse neighborhood from the sense of the type of homes that are here. And so I like to kind of break the neighborhoods up and show you the trends dating back to 2017 in 6 month increments so you can kind of get a sense for what's going on. Let's go ahead and jump into North Durbin. So real quick refresh on what North Durbin is. North Durbin, those are the homes off of North Durbin Parkway. For analysis purposes, I do not include Village Center. That's right across the street from Patriot Oaks Academy. I don't include Castlegate or Cresthaven. Those are the ones right off of Veterans. And don't include Tollerton. That is off Longleaf. What makes North unique generally is the lot sizes. They have 71% of the 80 and 83 foot lots in North, and only 17% of the 53-foot lots. So generally the larger lots, larger homes in North. You can see the sales price range for so far in 2023. Again, this is only a 6 month snapshot versus 2022, which was the entire year, but you can see the range 619 up to $830,000 so far this year. So digging into the numbers here in North, a common theme throughout the real estate market is lack of existing home inventory. And obviously that's the case in North Durbin. Definitely falls into that narrative. The first half of 2023 was the lowest volume of closed transactions in the 6.5 year period that I've been following. There were only 11 transactions. Now, of note, outside of the townhomes, North typically has the highest volume of transactions in all of the Durbin neighborhoods. And as you can see, the first half of 2023 was down 27% from the previous 6 month period. So that was July, December 2022, and down a whopping 45% from the same period in 2022. The highest volume 6 month period was the second half of 2020 with 36 sales occurring in North Durbin. So the first half of 2023 is nearly 70% lower than that high water mark in the second half of 2020. Another common theme that you're probably hearing about real estate right now is that homes are sitting a bit longer on the market. I would say that's spotty. It depends a lot on the neighborhood and the house, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of things go into that, but certainly the case in North for the homes that closed in the first half of the year. They had a median days on market of 71, which is a new high watermark in the 6.5 years I've been tracking. In fact, North had the longest days on market of all the neighborhoods in Durbin, just a heads up there. And while there were only 11 transactions in the first half of the year, 5 of those transactions had days on market that were near or more than 5 months. And all of those transactions that sat that long went on the market in the second half of 2022 and then sold in 2023. In a sign that things are definitely cooling down, only 2 transactions in the first half of this year had days on market in the single digits. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the median price per square foot in North Durbin. That actually peaked out at $230 a square foot in the first half of 2022. And even though homes are sitting on the market much longer now, the median price per square foot is only down 4% from the peak in 2022. And despite a full year now of price declines in North, prices are still 61% above where they were in the first half of 2019. 61%. That price stability and buoyancy is likely aided by the very low inventory that we're seeing. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap up North Durbin. Again, one real big takeaway is low transaction volume. In fact, the lowest number of transactions we've seen in North Durbin in the 6 years that I've been tracking. Again, North Durbin is one that typically sees some of the highest volume of sales in Durbin Crossing. Median discount from the original list price to the sold price. Again, that's the spread from what did they ask and what did they get. Median discount in North Durbin was $64,000 in the first half of the year, or getting 92% of that original ask. Now, I will say the homes that tended to take the biggest haircuts, and I'll define that as over $50,000, for the most part, it was those homes that went on the market in 2022. They sat for quite some time, and then they sold in 2023. That's where we tended to see some of the bigger haircuts. But if we want to go ahead and look at it in the different kind of square footage ranges, we can do that. So 4,000 square feet and above. We only had 2 homes in the first half of the year that fit that bill. Those took an $85,000 discount on median, and again, getting 91% of that original ask. Again, just 2 homes, though, fit in that category. In the 3,000 to just under 4,000 square feet, median discount was $37,000, still getting 95% of ask, which is not bad. And then the other group was the 2,700 to just under 3,000. Median discount there was $27,000, getting 96% of ask. So still, a healthy number there. Now, again, I pulled this data on July 12th. At that time, there were 6 homes in North under contract, and almost all of them had a DOM that was lower than the median that we experienced in the first half. So hopefully we'll start to see a trend line that brings that days on market down for North. And again, we're also seeing some bigger homes now coming through and going to close. Of those that are currently under contract, half of them are over 4,000 square feet. So hopefully we'll have some better trends in North in the second half of the year. All right, let's go ahead and jump across Longleaf Parkway over to South Durbin. And again, just to level set on what South Durbin is, those are the neighborhoods off South Durbin Parkway, Willowway Parkway, Islebrook Parkway, the Parkway triplets. That's South Durbin. Really, it's everything just south of Longleaf. Anyway, what makes that area unique is a broad mix of lots ranging from 53 footers up to 80 footers. As you know, the primary amenity center is there. The county baseball complex is there, as well as the county lacrosse, soccer, football fields. It's all down there. All of South goes to Patriot Oaks Academy. And we want to look at what the homes that sold in the first half of the year, the price ranges. They range from $499 up to $930. And I have the 2022 range there for you. Again, only the first half of 23 there versus the entire year's experience in 2022. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at those closed transactions for the first half of the year in South. Sales did actually rebound from what was really an anemic second half in 2022. We'll just say that. Closed transactions in the first half of this year jumped 33% over the last half of 2022. Now, still down from the same period, the January to June period in 2022. But I'll say we're really kind of experiencing regression to the mean. So they're really kind of 16 transactions is right around, an average number in South. So not a bad number in South for the first half of the year. All right, in a sign that things are kind of normalizing, I will say, in South, the days on market remain in that 30 to 40 day range. It was down from the second half of 2022, which is a good thing. But I think we can all probably agree that 4 days on market, which was what the number was for the second half of 21, and then the 9 days on market that you all experienced in the first half of 2022, those were probably outliers. So again, more of a normalized market in South for days on market in that 30 to 40 days on market range. All right, so if we go ahead and take a look at that price per square foot in South, I think what we're seeing is kind of a flattening. Again, it kind of fits the normalizing trend that we're seeing in South. 3 of the last 4 6-month segments, that range has been in the $202 to $209 a square foot in South. Off a little bit from its high water mark, which was the first half of 2022, down 8% from that. But again, we're kind of starting to see a leveling out in the last 2 years in that $202 to $209 range. All right, so let's go ahead and walk through the takeaways on South Durbin real quick. Again, I've overused the term probably normalization, but the 3 metrics that I track, we're not seeing big swings in South. So I think things are kind of leveling out. We're not getting big gyrations in the market. So again, to me, that's a sign of normalization. The median discount from the original list price to the sold price in the first half of the year, again, that's the what did they want, what did they get gap, a discount of $25,000 on median, or getting 96% of the original ask, which is still a pretty healthy take. If we want to break it down into the square footage again, on those closed transactions in the 3,000 to just under 4,000 square foot bucket, the median discount was $25,000, but again, getting 96% of ask. There were 9 homes that fit that square footage. And then in the 2,500 to just under 3,000 square footage, there were 6 homes that fit that bill, a $30,000 median discount, and again, 95% of ask there. Now, again, I pulled this data on July 12th. At that time, there were 2 homes in South currently under contract. Median days on market for those were roughly 50 days. So a little bit of a bump up from where we're seeing things right now, but nothing drastic. And again, just 2 homes. And there were 4 homes on the market in South, with 3 of them having days on market over 50 days. So hopefully we're not starting to see a trend in South with days on market going up. We'll know more at the end of the year, right? And then interestingly, cash buyers made up about 33% of the transactions in South. So there are still a lot of, or a reasonable amount of cash buyers out there. All right, let's jump back across Longleaf over to Village Center, where everybody loves it and nobody leaves. If you watched my last update back in January, really low transaction volume there. So I think the people that live there just absolutely love their neighborhood. That's a great thing. But again, just to level set, it is the neighborhood directly across the street from Patriot Oaks Academy. For analysis, I don't include 2017 numbers here because there was still new construction in there, and I don't want to muddy the waters with new construction and resale. What makes it unique is 100% of the lots in there are 43-foot wide lots, and it's also 100% Patriot Oaks Academy. Again, the price ranges year to date through June, the first half of the year, $405,000 up to $575,000, and then you have, for reference, your 2022 range. Again, 2022 was an entire year experience, where 23 is just the first half of the year. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at those closed transactions for the first half of the year in Village Center. If you compare it to the last 6 months of 2022, transaction volume was flat at 5. If you compare it to the first half of 2022, you see a really big number there. You go 30%. What the heck is happening in Village Center? You have to remember these are really small numbers we're dealing with there, because everybody, repeat after me, in Village Center loves it there. They're not leaving. So low transaction volume, which is really hard to believe that just 2.5 years ago, they set their high water mark in the second half of 2020, when they had 17 transactions close in the second half of 2020. And they're mostly just leveling out right now. They've done 12 in the last year, 5 every 6 months. So again, people in the Village Center love it there. All right, let's take a look at those days on market for those whole 5 homes that sold in Village Center in the first half of the year. On the surface, you look at this and you go, wow, 67% increase in days on market in Village Center in the first half of the year. Again, really small numbers. And while, yes, up 67%, still under 30 days on the market on median. And in fact, of all homes, all 5 of those homes that sold in Village Center in the first half of the year, only one of them had days on market over 30 days. Okay, real quick, taking a look at that price per square foot in Village Center. Super low inventory coupled with relatively low days on market equals a pretty solid price per square foot, which is still nearly at all-time highs in Village Center. In fact, the median price per square foot is actually up 14% over the same period in 2022 in Village Center. All right, so let's take a quick look at the takeaways for Village Center. Sales volume is what I call pancaking. They're really flattening out. They're settling in at that 5 to 7 transactions per 6-month interval. In fact, in the last 12 months, only 10 transactions in the last 12 months. Super low inventory. There's only 2 homes on the market in there right now. Days on market remains under 30 days. Median discount from the original list price to the sold price. Again, that what did they want? What did they get? Gap was a $10,000 discount on median, or getting 96% of the original ask, which is still healthy. It's the only neighborhood in Durbin to deliver year-over-year price per square foot increases. And actually, cash buyers in Village Center made up 40% of the transactions in the first 6 months of the year. That's Village Center. All right, let's skip down Longleaf Parkway down to Tollerton. Again, this is the neighborhood that's kind of across the street from Creekside High School, just down the road a tad. What makes them unique, 100% of the lots in there are 53 footers. 100% of the students there go to Patriot Oaks Academy. Again, your price ranges for the first half of the year, 465 up to 705. And then for reference, I gave you the entire year 2022 experience below that. All right. Big jump in sales volume. Again, we're dealing with small numbers down in Tollerton. But again, a nice bounce back from nearly probably a year and a half of ultra low volume in Tollerton. So we jumped up to 7 transactions in the first half of the year. Again, kind of more of a normal 6-month volume for that part of Durbin Crossing. All right, let's look at those days on market in Tollerton. And now this is where statistics can really trip you up if you're not paying attention. So in fact, I think there's a line out there that says there's lies, damn lies, and then there's statistics. And so this would be one of those cases where on the surface, this looks like things could be really bad in Tollerton, where it says the days on market is up 211% versus the same period last year. But again, really small numbers. Last year, the first half of the year, there were only 3 transactions, and the days on market was an unreal 9 days for those 3 transactions. So really small numbers. And again, we're still dealing with really small numbers. So any small little pivot can have kind of a big statistical number accompany it, but it's a little deceptive. And it's a little more deceptive even with this graph, because I had to scale it to accommodate the first half of 2017 where there was a really big days on market number. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out that line, and you get a little better perspective as to just what's happening with days on market in Tollerton. All right, so here you can see I pulled out that first half of 2017, allowed me to kind of scale this a little differently, and you can kind of see where things are settling out in Tollerton and days on market. Again, really low volume, so any kind of pivot one way or the other leads to big kind of percentage changes, but nothing alarming. Days on market is still under 30 days in Tollerton and low volume transactions. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that sold price per square foot. Now, Tollerton has experienced the most dramatic drop year over year in sold price per square foot, but again, cautionary tale, very low volume of transactions in Tollerton, especially in 2022. Nonetheless, the sold price per square foot is 27% below the high water mark that was set in the same period in 2022. However, things have really kind of flattened out in the last 12 months in Tollerton, and so we might be seeing signs of some sort of price normalization there, price stability. We'll see more in another 6 months. All right, let's go ahead and do those Tollerton takeaways. I feel like I should be an announcer there. Now your Tollerton takeaways. Anyway, Tollerton returned to a much more normal transaction volume in the first half of 2023. Those days on market do continue kind of a 2-year trend line of increasing, but still less than 30 days, which is a nice number. Median discount from original list price to sold price. Again, that's that what did they want, what did they get gap. Discount of $19,000 on median, or 96% of that original asking price. Of note, though, 2 homes in Tollerton did go over ask, which has been relatively rare in Durbin in 2023. Certainly wasn't rare the last couple of years, but in 2023 it has been a rarity. And really, cash buyers not playing any kind of a part in the Tollerton neighborhood. All right, let's jump to Castlegate and Cresthaven. Again, these are the neighborhoods that are kind of on either side of Veterans Parkway. What makes them unique is 100% of the lots are 53-foot lots. The students that live in there go to Durbin Creek Elementary and Fruit Cove Middle, not Patriot Oaks. And there's no thoroughfare through those neighborhoods. There's one way in and one way out. Sales range so far this year has ranged from 455 up to 715. So I was almost reluctant to include the data from Castlegate and Cresthaven simply because it's so low. There were only 2 transactions in the last 6 months. But we can go ahead and review it anyway. Just keep in mind this is really low volume. Again, only two transactions in the first half, down 40% from the same period the year prior. But there were only three the year prior, so low volume. Okay, again, a 309% increase in the days on market in Castlegate and Cresthaven. Oh gosh, what's happening? Low volume, as I've said, and it went from 11 days, which is really low, the first half of 2022, up to 34 days for the second half of the year. So no, the sky is not falling in Castlegate and Cresthaven. All right, and taking a quick look at that sold price per square foot in Castlegate and Cresthaven, down 12% versus the same period in 2022 on those two transactions that occurred in the first half of 2023. Okay, real quick, the takeaways on Castlegate, Cresthaven, low transaction volume, as I've mentioned over and over again. There were only two. Median discount from the original list price to the sold price, the what did they want, what did they get gap. Discount was $22,500 on median, or getting 96% of that original ask in Castlegate, Cresthaven. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the townhomes in Durbin Crossing. And again, just to refresh, there are two townhome communities along St. John's Parkway, one north and one south of Longleaf Parkway, that are both associated with Durbin Crossing. For analysis purposes, just to make you aware, I am only looking back to 2020. That's because there was still new construction going on in there, and I don't like to muddy the waters between new construction and resale. What's unique is it's 100% multifamily, and the students that live in those two neighborhoods go to Durbin Creek Elementary and Fruit Cove Middle. And then again, I've given you kind of the sales ranges for the first half of 2023, ranging from 273 to 371. And just for your reference, the full year experience for 2022 in the townhomes. Okay, taking a look at that sales volume for the first half of 2023 in the townhomes. Pretty flat year over year, down 16% from the second half of 2022. But again, a year over year comparison, pretty flat. I think there was one additional sale this year versus last year. Now, interestingly, 69% of the sales this year so far have been in the Palisades, which is the townhome community north of Longleaf Parkway on St. John's Parkway. And then real quick, taking a look at those days on market in the townhomes, a pretty significant jump. It's actually at its highest level in the 4 years that I've been tracking now. It's up at 43 days on median for the first half of 2023 versus just 14 days for the same period in 2022. So kind of a steady increase there in days on market in the townhome communities. All right, so taking a look at that sold price per square foot in the townhomes, pretty flat year over year. I think a 1% bump, but off a bit from the highs that were set in the second half of 2022. I think the market spoke in the townhouses in the last 6 months. The price per square foot, at least for now, seems to have kind of peaked in the last half of 2022. And so I think sellers, when you look at the data, the sellers who initially priced above the median price per square foot for the second half of 2022, if you priced above that, those homes tended to sit, quite a few sitting 3 to 6 months before they finally went under contract. Those who priced under it moved their property much more expeditiously. So at least for the time being, it seems like the high water mark on the price per square foot in the townhomes was set in the second half of 2022. All right, let's go ahead and do the takeaways on the townhomes real quick. Again, flat transaction volume to the same period in 2022. Days on market were actually up markedly to their highest level in the 4 years that I've been tracking in the townhomes. Median discount from the original list price to sold price, your what I wanted, what I got gap, was a discount of $11,000, or getting 96% of that original ask on the median. Again, though, the Palisades had about 69% of the total townhome transactions in the first half of the year. And so the median discount there was actually higher, it was $16,000, but still getting 95% of that original ask. And cash buyers were actually fairly prevalent. 38% of the transactions in the first half were all cash. So that wraps up the first half of 2023 Durbin Crossing real estate market update. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, 904-657-8846, or you can shoot me an email. It's my last name, gruber.paul1@icloud.com. Otherwise, have a great fall. Kids go back to school in a few weeks, and I'll share our next update in January of 2024. Take care.